Welcome. In today's video, I'll be going over the model for improvement and the Plan, Do, Study, Act cycle. A simple tool will help you to achieve real change and improvement, whether it's in your personal or professional lives. And before I get started, I'll just start off with a quick quote. All improvement will require change, but not all change will result in improvement. And I think that's really where the model for improvement and the Plan, Do, Study, Act cycle comes into its own, to give you a tool, test out changes to identify what changes are improvements, and more specifically, what you can be doing further to improve things. So the great secret, great benefit of this tool, it can be applied to anything. You can apply to people, processes, anything you can think of if you're trying to change and improve. You can use this tool, model for improvement, to help with that process. And by having that structured approach, what we're trying to avoid is often we think about change as going from A to B, and when we see other successes, whether it's professionally, personally, whether it's a new company, a new process, whatever it may be, we think it could be a quite straightforward A to B. We did one or two things and succeeded in quite a straightforward path. But actually, what tends to happen with all change and improvement work is it's a very convoluted path. Lots of twists, lots of turns, some dead ends, and a lot of time and effort taken to get there. And the model for improvement really helps focus your efforts. So you don't go off on a tangent, you don't wander down the wrong path, and in fact keep really focused, succinct on what you're trying to achieve, to really identify what's working and what's not. And it's really a simple model. Is that here, the top part I call the theory part, and the bottom part is the practical part. So the theory of the model for improvement is you have 3 questions you're trying to answer. What you're trying to achieve, what is your aim? How will you know that change is an improvement? So you have some sort of way of measuring that change over time. And what change or changes can we make that result in that improvement? So what ideas, what concepts could you test out that potentially have an impact through those measures to identify whether or not you're going to achieve your aim for your objective for this piece of work. And again, it can be applied to your own life. It can be applied to any context you can think of. I've used it in healthcare, social care. I originally came from manufacturing and science. So there's a huge range of places this can be applied, and definitely something useful for people thinking about considering in the future. So I won't go into too much detail on the model for improvement. This video is going to be a short overview introducing you to the idea and concept. And if you do like this video, please do consider subscribing to the channel and also checking out future videos where we're going to a bit more detail around about the model for improvement. Before I finally finish up, give you a bit more of a detail behind it all here. I'll just hide the camera. You can see here that the theory and practical side, as I mentioned, is split in two. And just to give you a kind of overview, the practical side of things requires a Plan, Do, Study, Act cycle to happen over time. And really trying to plan out what you're trying to achieve in this cycle, what needs to be involved, who, what, where, when, etc. And most importantly, how. And finally, what's your predictions? Do you think you'll actually achieve what you're trying to set out to achieve in this cycle? Or do you think it will go something differently? Then you have a do part where you actually carry out your test or change, so you're actually doing something to make that improvement you're looking for. And then you move on to the study where you analyse any data, compare it to predictions, and summarise your results. And finally, you've got to decide for yourself, do you continue testing and changing, or do you actually adapt it, amplify it, adopt it, or abandon it altogether? And finally, the idea being, over time, you take these tests of change and build it up into a sequence of tests over time, trying to achieve your sort of set goal for this piece of work. Now obviously that's a very short whistle-stop tour of what the model for improvement and PDSA is. As I mentioned, I will be going into more detail about this in a future video. If you have tried this out before, let me know in the comments your successes and failures with that. And if you'd like to know more about the model for improvement, or if you have an idea where you'd like to try and apply it in your own life, whether it's personally or professionally, let me know in the comments below. Thank you. If you have enjoyed this video, please do consider liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and checking this video out here. I'm sure you'll love it. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.